Hi everyone, in this video tutorial I'll be talking about catalog ingestion API. Using this API, you can ingest data into your catalog and this data could be further used in scorecards, let's say in your entity field pickers in workflows, and you can build custom plugins based on the metadata present in the catalog. So in today's tutorial, we will ingest a code coverage score and then track the score using scorecards. Let's get started. And this is my IDP and I have a sample catalog info YAML which I'm going to register. Let's copy the URL. Let's go here. Let's go on the register. That's it. So now you could see now my warehouse management service is registered in the catalog. I will try adding an entity called metadata code coverage using the catalog ingestion API. So if you go to this API, I'll be using this endpoint and this payload. Let's take the curl example. I'll be using exactly this to add this metadata.code coverage score in my catalog entry. If you could see here, there is no metadata.code coverage score present here, but as soon as we add it, it will come. It will be live inside your IDP. But remember, it doesn't get written into your source location. So let's get started. So I already have this. I already have tried once this. So that's why it's already showing success. Let's try it again. So the entity ref is a warehouse and property is a code coverage score. Value, I want to put an arbitrary value called 85. And if we send this, wow, it's successful. Now let's go ahead and check and come here and check this inspect entity. I should be able to see a code coverage score. And yes, this is the value we entered. So what I saw here is kind of a static entry, like I now want to get that resource, get that number value that we added here periodically and add it to my catalog and then use a scorecard to measure that. So I have written a script here which uses a dummy data and pulls in the code coverage score. And then I have used this API to update the data in my catalog entry. Don't worry about the XAPI key. I will delete it after this video. And then these are the entries, like exact entries that you need to make this API call. Now let's see, it's successful. The code coverage score is showing me 74.42. Let's do a refresh quickly, and then when it loads, we'll be able to see this data. I go to inspect entity, to draw YAML, and yes, the score is now 74.42. So now if I want this data to be periodically updated, I have to run that script again and again. How do I do that? Well, I create a pipeline. Let's tutorial start. So I will add IDP stage here, name the stage as demo stage. Once the stage is set up, I will use harness cloud credits to run this pipeline. The operating system is Linux and the architecture is AMD64. Now if you do continue, here you get an option to add step. And one of the steps we have is run step, using which you could basically run Python commands. Now let me just try and copy this. Come here, run Python. I paste it here. Apply the changes. Now I come here. Oh, sorry. Add a custom variable named as API key. Add a secret use the harness secret manager. Secret name is X API key. They want my name and the X API key. Let me copy it here. Add it. Save it. And so it's saved. I could go ahead, copy this. Oh yeah, apply changes. I could go ahead and just paste it here. Yeah, voila. You see here. That's it. And let's apply the changes, save the changes, and try running it. Yeah, and it runs successfully. Very nice. Code coverage score, it says it's 100. Wow, that's absolutely fantastic or not? So if I could catalog warehouse to an inspect entity, raw code coverage score is 100. Well, that works, but how do I make it work periodically? Let's go again to the pipelines. This is the pipeline. Let's go to triggers. So let's add a new trigger. Cron job based trigger. Like I can say periodically update code coverage. Yeah, sounds good. Then let's continue. So I wanted to run every 30 minutes. Or let's say I wanted to run every hour maybe. Yeah, hour is good. 30 minutes is too much. So that's it. You create a trigger. Now it will keep on updating the thing time and time. So you saw what we did here, right? We automated the process of ingesting the data into the catalog. That's part one is done. The catalog ingestion part is done. But how do I know that score? Where do I view the score, or how I could track the progress of the score? Because that is important. The absolute value doesn't matter to me as a developer or as the lead of the team that manages the service. What is important to me is the code coverage score is maintained beyond a certain limit and it doesn't fall down a certain limit. That is so every time coming here and doing this inspecting, it's very tiresome, right? For that, we have something called scorecards. Now let's explore the world of scorecards. Under scorecards, you could see these are already created scorecards, and they have certain checks, and there is these are the components like warehouse management service is a component here. It just shows the number of components that it is affected and how the score is across these components and across these checks. Now, under checks, what we do actually is we define the formula in which a score is calculated. Right? Let's create a custom check for our code coverage. So if I come here, let me type here code coverage score. Coverage score. Yeah. So the data source would be catalog info YAML, obviously. The YAML that is stored in IDP, not the one that is there in the Git provider. Data point would be to evaluate an expression. Yes, there is an expression. So if we paste this here, and let's say we try to maintain the value more than 50. Yeah, that's a nice code to have. And I go ahead and save the changes. Check is created. You could see here, check is created here. Yes. Now, using the custom check, I will create a scorecard. So come here, create a new scorecard as code coverage kind is component and type is all to which it will be applied, all component kinds, and custom checklets, under custom checklets, and the new custom check that we created, the code coverage score custom check. And let's publish this scorecard. And now when I come back to my catalog and go to my component, I'll be able to see a score. So the check has passed, and as you could see, the check has passed and the score is 100. Now let's try manually updating the value to be, let's say, 33. The value is updated. Now if I go and rerun the check, it should fail. Yes. So actually it's 33 and it expects something more than equal to 45. That's why the check failed. So this is how you could track the values that you ingested through catalog ingestion API. And this makes sense for values like code coverage score or let's say your cloud cost data. They should maintain a certain threshold, and it is very important for your organizational needs and follow the organizational standards. So that's all for this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial.